Hi, I haven't been on here for a while. Life's been a little bit busy. Had major family illnesses, workload in my day job that's been close to insane. But anyway, I'm back here now, and I'm using this format where I'm creating the video through PowerPoint first, simply because I have to get my desk lamp fixed so that I have a better light if I try using the older format. I recently watched a review of one of the older Star Wars movies, and I was struck by a comment that criticised the creation of the midichlorians device on the basis that the original explanation of the Force as a creation of all living beings was enough. That got me thinking. Some people are more comfortable with physical objects rather than energies or fields. So for example, if we look at the idea that light is viewable as either an energy or a stream of particles, those people I've just referred to would prefer to think of it as a stream of particles. In my case, I'm happy to consider it to be either a wave or a particle, and accept that there are different circumstances where each way of thinking about it has a more appropriate use. So you use the most appropriate way of viewing reality, in a sense. Coming from that, I have the view that I use in my teaching that we all effectively live in a psychic soup. Much as the force is created by all living things, this psychic soup is also created by all living creatures, their thoughts, their words, their actions, and their deliberate energetic work. Keep in mind as I raise that idea that most people don't have a closed aura. To my way of thinking, the concept of a psychic soup highlights a number of aspects. Firstly, it shows the importance of thinking about protection from the point of view of compatibility versus incompatibility rather than good versus evil. Secondly, it shows the benefits of having a cleared area for working in, such as what happens when you create a circle. Next, it also shows that energies tend to get either diluted or dispersed as they travel through the soup, which is an explanation for why some things are harder to have happen at a distance. Finally, it shows that if you add something, much as you add a little bit of pepper perhaps to one part of a soup, even if you don't stir it, eventually the flavour will spread throughout all of it, which means whatever we contribute to this psychic soup will eventually start to influence all of it. And that leads me to a few thoughts on influencing the world. This world has billions of human beings on it. It has countless more animals. It has all the energies of the world, the natural world, the rivers, the mountains, the influences from astrology, all the other influences that exist, influences from spirit. There are countless influences going into this massive soup that we live in, this psychic soup. And yet, despite that, one person can make a difference. I've given a link to an article where I've put down a few thoughts about this, but as a quick example, consider Hitler, who made a terrible difference to the world. But on the other hand, Gandhi, who did so much that was good and inspiring. Perhaps one of the examples that I think about most commonly is the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, which is still having ramifications for the United States of America. If somebody had been able to prevent that, if somebody had defended Abraham Lincoln better, that wouldn't, perhaps those ongoing disasters would not have been so prevalent. And that's particularly relevant when we start to think about psychic influences and what people can do to help protect others psychically. The work that I blog about, clearing, flaming, looking after your own non-physical health, learning how to do healing, improving oneself, meaning living the old precept of know thyself. All of that helps to influence the world. It helps oneself, there's no mistake about that. It also helps the people around one, both through the better influences on them, protecting them from other influences, by perhaps being a more constructive influence yourself, although I admit there are times when life can overwhelm most people. All of that are examples on a smaller scale of influencing the world. On a larger scale, all the protection work that we do to help those that we love, if we do that for key world leaders, for example, how many people are acting to prevent unbalanced influences, the sort of influences other people would call evil, from influencing or affecting the President of the United States, the 45th President of the United States, who I tend to refer to as Voldemort II. If 7 billion of us, well, maybe 4 billion of us were protecting that person from non-physical influences outside of himself, perhaps he wouldn't be quite so destructive. Bit of a pipe dream, but it makes the point. As well as helping the people that we're in contact with, there is so much more that we can do by caring about the people that we don't see face to face. All the psychic work is important, but that really just restores the balance. Ultimately, we still have to take action in the physical world. We still have to live in this physical world that we are a part of. So, in addition to doing all the psychic work, we also need to take action such as writing to politicians, maybe joining in street marches if they're constructive. It's just as important for those who take physical action to remember that they also need to take psychic action, or someone needs to. The two will go hand in hand. We have to work on both if we're going to make this world the sort of place, the constructive, loving, inclusive place that it should be. We are all interconnected. There's a range of theological explanations for that, but one of the ways that we're interconnected is by the psychic soup that we all live in and actively contribute to, and sometimes without awareness take in from. That's a call for caution, call for protection, but it's also an opportunity. We can contribute to that soup deliberately and constructively if we wish. We can choose to use that to make the world a better place. Thank you.